it was announced that Deshaun Watson will be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns as we head into the 2026 NFL season. This was a highly scrutinized decision and was under the spotlight heavily because of the name Shedeur Sanders. Both on-the-field play and popularity contributed to the controversy online, as Shedeur is the son of Deion Primetime Sanders, and his play on the field wasn't far off, if off at all, compared to Deshaun Watson's play. So let's do our own investigating, we'll watch the tape, discuss, and figure out how this decision was made. We can start by looking over and comparing Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders' performances from preseason week 1. Watson got more reps than Shedeur, so we can start with him. Watson's week 1 was better than week 2, and we'll look at why. For starters, Watson was moving his eyes through it and getting mentally active. Now physically, sometimes it looks sluggish or kind of cemented in the pocket as he was moving through those reads. This is cheese, the drift and pivot combination. Watson places his eyes on the apex defender or the first defender inside the corner. Watson hits the back of his drop, sees the attachment and man coverage from the guy he was watching, and now knows that he has the drift window and hits Judy on his hip. This is a veteran knowing where to look, what decision to make in this situation, and completes the second level pass. I thought the timing throws were also worth mentioning. You see it here on this third down, he gets to the back of his drop and starts to let it go. Look at the receiver when he's throwing. It all comes together nicely with an accurate ball and separation, in sync, and on time. This is what the Shanahan tree calls curl burst, with an arrow, the curl, and a through route. Deshaun basically watches the area as a whole, peeping the defenders and his curl. He takes just one hitch, and that is good timing again with the curl break. The ball's right on Concepcion's chest, and another timing completion is made. We know Deshaun Watson's been around a minute, and watch this vet move from Watson. Watson signals the right side to run this rub pick rail concept. He does this because the look warrants it. The defense is in this man look, and in preseason, you don't really think it's a disguise, as teams tend to keep it a little more simple in preseason. So what you're getting pre-snap is most likely what you're going to get post-snap when it's a look like this. He was right, it is man, and Watson quickly drops and looks to the signaled side. The nickel decided to go over the pick, so Watson throws to the space outside and under the nickel. It's a good ball, smartly placed, and a good catch is made by Casey Concepcion too. But this is where the good ends. Deshaun definitely still had his shortcomings and struggles, and we'll cover that right now. This is a part of my main concern about Watson. It's a play action curls concept. When Watson turns and looks right, the safety has crashed and the hook player's dropping, and that's enough to get Watson to look left now. There's a window to that curl, but Watson denies it and completely skips over the wide open curl to his right. The linebacker vacated and was reacting to Deshaun's eyes previously, leaving the curl on the left side open. But Deshaun already ruled that one out and thinks his check down is the last hope. It's covered enough to make Watson dip, running into the back of his lineman, falling down and over him. Now this is a very interesting concept that I have never seen before. I just called it a dagger sail swap concept. It's basically just those two concepts in one, but we'll watch the play run its course and Deshaun's feet get yippy and he hesitates to throw. He then gets down to the shallow coming across the field and finds a completion there, and it's tackled immediately. But let me tell you what I thought should have happened. When Watson took those hitches and wasn't confident, get it to the play side check down. It's wide open and right in front of you. My big concern with Watson is that he's not always reading the field and coverage, reacting off of it, knowing where the weakness is and taking advantage. When he progresses, it's more of the pure progression, one read to the next, land on an option, comprehend it's open, and then throw it. He can make reads off of a single player in conflict, but that's one of the most basic ways to make decisions at quarterback. Moving to Shedeur Sanders week 1 now, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot more positively graded plays for Shedeur, and the positive play ratio is certainly better than Deshaun's. Now I say that, but context matters. Shedeur was a lot quicker to get safe and remain safe. Like here, Shedeur only looks to his first read for all of a second, then moves right off and attempts the shallow underneath, obviously a tipped ball, but you see the principle of it. There's no evaluation on the route that could potentially get you 10 to 15 more yards than the instant dump off, not to mention the predictability that brings to your play style. And that's literally my biggest takeaway from week 1. I don't think Shedeur Sanders took too much risk and played kind of reserved. Yet he still had a bad interception, which was simply an overthrow, and just a 55% completion percentage, going 6 of 11 passing. A 55% completion percentage and about a 50-50 consistency when it came to his timing. At times, Shedeur looks like he could be playing with more pro-level timing than Deshaun, and sometimes it doesn't look that way. This is a play-action Marlin concept being run. Shedeur gets right to it, makes one hitch, and the ball's coming out as the receiver's breaking. The ball's put out there for the receiver, who already made separation and room for the throw. Good ball and good route. Now this one more closely correlates with the timing throws that we saw from Watson. Shedeur drops back and keeps his eyes centered. Back foot is when this ball should have come out, but he bounces for an additional step, then gets that ball going. But you can see it's already a bit late when you see the receiver's positioning relative to the defender. It is placed down and away, but it still ends up in a pass breakup as the corner had enough time to clamp down on him. So it is hot and cold, and I think Shedeur operates with better overall timing on a down-to-down basis than Deshaun Watson. Shedeur makes checkdowns and the throws underneath that need to be thrown while they still have space, as opposed to Deshaun Watson's tendencies. Now already on to week 2, where Shedeur got the majority of the reps, so we'll continue to talk about him. Shedeur had some good throws, actually had 3 specifically, and we'll go over them right now. First one, Shedeur drops back and looks left to start. He latches to 86 running his basic route, stares him down, has a great pocket around him, waits for him to clear traffic, and then throws it into all that space. It's good placement and gets his tight end some running room upfield. Second play now, this one is actually a touchdown pass. Sanders drops back for about 5 steps. I think he watches the diagonal route and how it opens up the space behind it. Then gets his eyes to the Dover, waits for it to clear, finally has it wide open and put it right on his guy for a touchdown in a window. Possibly as big a window as you're going to see in the low red area. In my opinion, this third and final play is the best. It's a high cross concept, a concept we see a lot in the NFL. Again, a direct 5-step drop back pass. I personally thought he's looking at his alert for too long, but it could just be good misdirection looking off the primary. He does get to the primary and you see the receiver behind the down safety. Shedeur waits for him to be definitively open and clear the underneath defender to throw it. He does throw it and makes a good throw to the open man. All of these look good on the stat sheet, look good on the TV copy, and may look good from an average fan's perspective. But did you notice anything about those 3 plays? How about the extremely clean pockets, the lack of anticipation, and a lot of reassurance before throwing? I'd love to see anticipation and be impressed by the best 3 throws he had in this game, but it was perfect conditions with no forward thinking. And I don't think that's an accurate representation of what regular season NFL football is like. There are star pass rushers that'll penetrate the pocket, especially versus the Browns' offensive line. And there are great secondary players that'll catch on to you when you are staring down your targets and wait for them rather than using anticipation. And Shedeur continued to take things easy and did not want to force a lot like the first game. Like this one's a 3rd down and he has a yes-no read on the boundary corner, but takes the short option so fast on 3rd and 6 or so. It'll come up short of the sticks. And while we're at it, let's talk about Shedeur Sanders' interception. It's wide choice to the boundary. Shedeur drops back and gets his eyes over there quick. But watch his eyes double take the middle of the field and get back to it. That's gotta throw himself off, and the ball does travel to the back hip and brings coverage closer, and the ball's popped up for grabs, falling into the opposition's favor. We see the tight end wins and gets open, but the throw is what allows the linebacker to get in reach of it. Not saying he got a hand on it, but it also makes it such an awkward catch attempt for number 85. It is catchable, but not made easy for him whatsoever. All of that negativity for Shedeur, but Deshaun Watson didn't have many positives himself. There's a timing throw outside, which is the clip you guys are watching, a couple of screens, a scramble, and just one big completion from Watson in this game. The one big completion came on this play action dagger, and it's kind of ironic, and we'll talk about why. Deshaun obviously takes his drop and makes the play fake. That's what play action is. He turns and waits for his guy to work. Protection is great. He sees it, watches it open up, and then throws the ball. Sound familiar? The ball even comes out low, but it's still completed. Another stroke of irony on this one. Okay, so Watson checks out the free safety first, who's actually coming down. That means, hypothetically, he should have this inside skinny route. But watch this sneaky corner carry up, and with Watson's late throw, the corner snakes up there, disrupting the catch point and causing an interception. So it's the same stuff we just talked about. Late throws without anticipation, and on this one, it's kind of naive to think that there's no coverage over there whatsoever. We've covered enough for both guys, and you can see it isn't exactly the battle of the Titans. The mechanics, the talent, and consistency as passers are both average to below average. but I think I would give the edge to Shedeur. They both have their moments, good and bad, but when it comes to the bad, Deshaun looks more clumsy and messy overall. Shedeur also seemingly makes the bigger oopsies less frequently. And remember, we don't exactly know how joint practices and training camp went, but I do like a little speculation every now and then. The decision to start Watson can mean a lot of underlying things. With Watson, you have the egregious amount of money tied to him, and that's reason enough to play him, giving him as many tries as you can to see if he can look better than the travesty it's been. But I also think it could mean that the Browns and Todd Monken don't see Shedeur as the future of this team. Choosing Deshaun Watson over Shedeur Sanders stalls development, playing time, and experience that Shedeur could have gained. They are not giving Shedeur Sanders the Tyler Shuck opportunity, where you give him a shot to impress you, develop and build chemistry with the head coach and offense, and maybe that leads to something bigger. And if the Browns don't see Shedeur as the future, you obviously cannot think that it's Deshaun Watson or Dylan Gabriel. I think that means Cleveland could be back in the market for yet another quarterback. Anyways, that'll be it for the guys watching. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, go down, subscribe, watch the past content on the channel. It would mean a lot, and I will see you guys next time.